One more time, fool.
Foote and E and the place to be and the DMV and we work. The podcast cool, but they not like us. Talking real DC, so what's up? Hey. From PG to Moco, fly shit go-go. From Southside to Uptown, we the cast of here now. The legacy of Chocolate City, Rayful and Chuck Brown. Shit, I done said too much. Foots, what's going down?
What's going on, good people? And welcome to Foots Tuesday. Foots Tuesday is a podcast that I put together once I realized that the homies was coming over every Tuesday to partake in some adult libations like this one given to me by my man Kwame, as we get lit and we talk shit about basketball, and occasionally we have a guest. Yo, not just any guest. We're talking about DC's royalty, the DMV's finest basketball coaches, as well as his up and coming stars. But before I tell you about the star that's here on the south side of Washington, D.C., that's sitting over there in the big chair, let me salute you. All of you that watch the podcast, that share, like, I appreciate you. And now, from Dunbar High School, Kevin Sams.
Appreciate you, bro.
No, I appreciate you, my
I
friend.
appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me, bro. For real, respect. For real.
My first question, Sam. You play both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I love playing both sides of the ball. I hate a nigga to score on me. I really do. I don't take it lightly at all. I feel like if you can't defend your position, what's your point? You know what I'm saying? Like, because to me, that's how you move.
Right.
That's how you move on. You get to play in different places and stuff like that. Because if you can't defend the other side of the ball, you in trouble.
You get frustrated. I think I felt a couple of them elbows.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, I don't know. It's always been that, but I think it started at Dunbar, though.
Yeah.
It started, they was hard on you, bro. Like, oh, you're not playing defense? Sideline. Just run.
And I asked that question off the break because all Missouri Valley, first team, offense and defense. So that means you was committed.
Yeah, I had some good coaches, though. Like, I'm going to say one of them, which is Ron Adams. He now coaches for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Was with them doing their run of championships and stuff like that. Love Coach Adams, man. Coach Adams was the one that really, defensively, I was kind of gifted, but put the basis of real defense down for me. But he also coached at UNLV when they went 31-0, and they used to, they raved about the amoeba defense. He created that.
Right.
And so he brought it to me. And at that point, I just, soaked it up as much as I could. And that's just how I am, man.
So, some people are just born to be ball players.
True.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
True.
Talk your shit,
I feel
man.
like, no, I mean, I'm just saying true. I just feel like you watch guys and guys, everybody has their own gift. And I think, like I was saying, when we was off camera, like I was saying, I was talking to guys, like, for me, when I really think back on it, I really started playing organized ball in the 8th grade. And I was at a school where all the worst kids in the city were, and they didn't even have a basketball team.
What school was that?
Garnett Patterson.
Right.
Up on U Street, for those that don't know, Northwest. So I literally started playing, and my education began when I went to Dunbar, and the very next year. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, it was 2 hours in the morning before school, 2 hours in the evening after practice, with the assistant coaches, working on my game, trying to get me to a point to where, because they seen something in me that I didn't see, but I caught on quickly.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in 4 years, I go to junior college, and I fought to get that. But the following year, I'm an All-American.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in that process, when you say gifted, in my mind, I started thinking, it was a gift.
So it was.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know you put the work in. So was that something that you wanted to do, or were you pushed to do that?
I wasn't really pushed. I wasn't really pushed, but you know, in my mind, and I'm, you know, around the way, you got all this height, and all people are reminding you of that. But in my mind, I'm thinking, shit, who's got the best basketball team in the city?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I looked at Cardoza, I looked at Spingarn, because I watched Sherman Douglas, and I'm like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And in my mind, and I would go down to the Herbo and watch them guys at the Herbo and be like, man, okay, this all right here. Yeah. So then at that point, it was just like, okay, this is what I want to do, but I want to go to Dunbar. Now realizing my mother went to Dunbar, my aunt went to Dunbar, my grandma went to Dunbar, all these people went to Dunbar that I started finding out. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So in my mind, my mother said, but you didn't know you chose Dunbar, but you was going to Dunbar anyway. So at that point, you know what I'm saying? But I walk in there, you know what I'm saying? You got all these Darryl Prue, Bonzie Colson, Kevin Washington, Darryl McClain. I mean, you got all these guys that can flat out hoop, man. But then you got the guys that came before them. Stretch, Tyrone Jones. I mean, you got all these guys that came before them that I didn't understand the legacy behind that, man. And it's such a legacy. And just to be a part of that, man, it to me is just amazing to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? When people say, hey, but I won a high school championship. You know what I'm saying? And it's a different feeling to know. And when guys are talking shit around the way, we like, oh yeah, bro, I don't even know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, you know, people know you. Some people know you just through basketball in itself, and they know who you are, and they give you that respect just based on your ability on the court. Yeah. You know that, but then you know there's some good men out there as well, and that didn't play basketball. But I'm talking right now. We talking about who, and then talking about basketball. Who. It's some dudes that played but didn't play. They was on the court. Warm-up lines, all that, and don't get me wrong. I
love him, but he just couldn't rap.
Don't get me wrong, because when I first got there, I was a part of that. Okay. I was a warm-up king. But for me, this shit ain't cool. Yeah. Like I don't like this. I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? And everybody doubt me at the same time. So the starting guys, the starting five I was on the team with Anthony Beagle, may he rest in peace. Tyrone Gibson, may he rest in peace. Who else was on that team? Mark Scott. Keith Childs, and I know y'all know who Keith is. Who else was on that team with us? Dion Lewis. They called him Smooth. Yeah. Them four cats were supposed to be the best players on the team. And at that time, they were. Because the nigga Tyrone was a dog. Yeah. For real. And I seen him at Cedar North. That first time I met him. We left because I got in trouble for some bullshit. So we left, and when we went to the front, that's where I met Coach Westmore at. Okay. Right there at the front. And then I didn't see him no more. So I get to school, Dunbar the first day. Prue walking down the ramp, and I'm sitting there. He look at me. He called my name out. I'm like, bro, like what? Yeah. So they had already had me on their radar before I was even know it was things being planted around me, and I didn't even know about it, man. So that's why I feel like when you say it's like sometimes things are gifted and things happening for you, and it's a gift, and those things, that's the way you're supposed to proceed. I didn't really feel like I had a choice. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't. I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but in that concept, how things played out, this is where I'm doing.
And Prue is definitely a legend in the city. So for him to recognize you as a talent, man, that must have made you feel good.
No, because I didn't know how to feel. Okay. Like I'm like, oh, this big nigga. Yeah. and you know, in high school, this nigga was already 6'8", 225, 230. I'm like, God damn, that nigga big shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, this nigga big. But then I see Bonzie, who's 7 foot, damn near 300 pounds. I'm like, oh wow, like for real. But it's for real when you walk in that gym. Like it's for real. It's I mean, before it was a training center, it was literally a training center.
Yeah.
Bleachers pushed in. You come up there, hey, all that bullshit, you leave that shit in the locker room. Them bleachers pushed in, you start out before you even start touching the basketball.
Yeah.
It's 2 miles around the gym before you even touch the basketball. Then we gonna stretch. Then we gonna run some suicides.
You're gonna get that work in.
Right. Then we gonna get on the court and we gonna start some skill work and all that stuff like that. So in that frame of when I seen other teams practicing and stuff like that, our stuff was already here before it was anything else, man.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. In the city, it's Dunbar and it's Spinner.
True.
I mean, you want to talk about the inner high.
Yeah.
Those two teams. So you guys are the most elite team. I'm gonna ask you a dumb question, like I asked Prue. Which team is it? Which school is the best?
Oh, shit.
I told you it was a dumb question, man.
But that's all right though. I mean, people ask that question. You know what I'm saying? Like they call us a university. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like for real. That's how when we was practicing to go to Coalfield House. Guess what we practiced at?
What's that?
We practiced at Maryland University.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't practice so when it was time to play against them after them, ran their asses out the gym.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even a comparison. Like,
So did you get 2 chips?
no, I only got
You
one.
just got the one. That
I
was
only got
87.
one, and that's when it started. When I got that one, they ran off and got the next 4 or 5 in a row.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's where it started at. That's exactly because then Mike Smith and Donald Ford and all them. I think Donald Ford got one every year he was there.
Yeah.
Him and Mike.
That's what's up. and you when you talk about chips, you talking about you won the inner high, then you go and you play. Shout out the Mather.
Yeah, we played the Mather.
Played the Mather. You
Down
know, you
there
talking
in
about
Coalfield House.
and you talk about a powerhouse.
And they had some. They had them all.
Who?
John Gwynn, Gerard Mustaf. What's the big white boy?
You kill him?
Danny Ferd.
Did you kill him?
Oh, I had 19.
Oh no, you had 23 and 10. Yeah.
I thought I had. Yeah. I was thinking that was. It ended up being from free throws. Yep. It ended up being like 23, 10 points, 10 rebounds.
You want to be modest now, the camera.
I mean, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't like, I make, when I say things, I want to make sure I'm right when I say it, you know what I'm saying? Because people are always trying to act like you're not being honest about things and stuff like that. And I'm just trying to not be saying stuff that I don't really know because it's been so long ago. It's been a long time, bro. Like, it's been a long time. And I love the game. I do. I love it, man. So
tell us about the inner high, though. The inner high at the time that you played. Yeah, thank you. That part. that part.
Whew, wow. It was some hoopers in the inner high, man. Oh my gosh. And every team had at least one dog on their team.
Right.
And we was fortunate to have at least 3 or 4 guys that could really play, that could take over the game at any time. Like B-Lo, he's 6'5" point guard, man. Like, and B-Lo was a nigga that was lifting weights when we was in high school. You know what I'm saying? He was just a different cat.
Right.
Tyrone, there's enough to be said about him. But McKinley, shit. They had I'm sorry, brother. Forgive me for not just knowing his name, but I know his name. Oh my gosh. And I thought dude was amazing. Anthony Tucker.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Tucker was a fucking monster, bro.
I mean,
like for real. Like
to the
Tucker
league.
was a monster in high school,
Yeah.
bro. Like he really was. And then they had Carlos. And then when we played against Spingarn, they had Sherman, Anthony Duckett, which them 2 niggas together, like. and Coolidge had Big Dave, Junior. Carl. What was Carl Weldon? They had a nice mob as well. The one dude from Anacostia, they called him Baby Jordan.
Okay.
Yes. And dude, my first time I got in the game, dunked on me, knocked my teeth out of my mouth, bro. I hit my face on the ground. And that was right there was the definitive moment for me.
What do you mean?
I was like, oh, this shit never again.
Okay.
This shit never again. And they put the shit in the yearbook.
Yeah.
They had me in the yearbook, laying on the ground in the yearbook. Oh, I was mad.
Yeah,
I was mad. You talking about somebody mad, but you talking about somebody after that. I ain't had no summer breaks, no nothing. I don't want to hear from nobody. Don't talk to me about nothing unless it's about hoop.
But that makes sense though. It makes sense because as soon as you leave Dunbar, you go right to Southern Community College.
Southeastern.
Yeah. Southeastern.
Southeastern, yeah.
So and then you average a double. You know, playing a year, 2 years in a row.
I played well, man. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I played well. Sometimes you play out some. In my mind, I felt like I was playing outside of my body at times.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Where I felt like I'm like, damn, bro, you was just a bum. And I mean, and I'm okay with saying that too. Like, bro, you really couldn't play. You weren't really that good.
Wow.
Now niggas is looking at you like, oh, we want him on our team. We want to play him. Call him.
Yeah.
We want him on the team.
That's crazy because I mean, the numbers say differently, but internally you were like, I'm not good enough.
Yup. That's how I always was. I'm not good enough because when I'm looking around, I'm seeing them look at guys that are, I was still thin.
Okay.
Where I felt like I wasn't strong enough. Mm-hmm. But shit, I off the bench, I was still getting like 280 off the bench. To them, I still wasn't strong enough. Right. And it's like when I start to look at different guys that were making it to the league, and you know back then, man, you had to be strong, big, physical, and you had to be able to play. And right now, they let niggas get millions of dollars based on their talent, based on their ability, their upside, potential. I was born at the wrong time, man. For real, man. I'm like, what?
Right.
70 million for 2 years, 3 years. I'm like, what the heck is going on, man? Right. But different time, different era. I just feel like I always felt like, and that to me, that was a way that I pushed myself. Just because, honestly, I felt like coming back here, it wasn't nothing for me back here, bro. Like that, real talk. And my mother told me, when you leave. So here's a story for you. Bruce Pearl came here to sign me to a junior college deal. Okay. To go to Iowa, to eventually go to Iowa. So he put me in junior college. Nigga slept on my floor in an $800 suit.
Get out of here.
I swear. I thought the nigga was trying to hit my mom's or something.
Right.
I was like, bro, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Like, he was like, it ain't, but that's Bruce Pearl. That's why he win every place he go. You talking about a genuine man, man. Right. And I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but the Bama, I'm going to say it anyway, the Bama paid my mother's rent up. Right. So I could come and go to school. I don't know no men like that. And back then, it was illegal to even say stuff like that. It was illegal to even mention stuff like that. But Bruce Pearl lost his job at Iowa from a Bama named Deion Thomas. Right. We would have had the number one recruiting class in the country if I would have ended up at Iowa. I ended up at Drake because Bruce Pearl got fired at Iowa because he was supposedly giving out money. Yeah. And the Bama Deion Thomas from Illinois had him on a wire. Whoever listening, you can look it up. You can look it up. Had him on a wire.
Wow.
Yes, man. Had him on a wire and just start asking him questions about it. And coach was like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Right. But the fact that he responded into it, and I'm sure the FBI or CIA or NCAA had more evidence or whatever. Absolutely. But they fired him and took away the last 7 scholarships, six or 5 scholarships from Iowa. Right then, the year before, Roy Marble had made it to the Final 8 or Elite 8 or something like that. So it was 4 junior college All-Americans, me, Andy Capetti, who played at Kankakee Junior College, Keith Gill, Kendall Gill's little brother, who was an All-American, Deion Thomas, and some other kid. It would have made us the number 1 recruiting class in the country. They took our scholarships from us, so I had to find a place to go. I had turned down Maryland, Texas, somebody else around here.
Look at that.
George Mason, George Washington, I turned all of them down because when I went to Iowa, I met Coach Pearl.
Yeah.
But I not only that, I met the people that was around, and I'm like, okay, I ain't got to worry about no nonsense here because it's a whole different environment. And you talking about taking care of their players, bro? Take care of their players like no other. Like, and just junior college, I was in practice every weekend up there at Iowa. Stayed in room 312 with a car. And cause the junior college was like 2 hours away.
Oh, wow, okay.
Lori Landbeck made sure I had that car and whatever else I needed. And she came down and watched the film, the games or whatever, and would report back to, you know, what was going on and stuff like that. That's how it was back then. I don't know how other guys had it, but I had it like that. But there at junior college, and I was just like, you know, and at junior college, my picture was all throughout Burlington. McDonald's, Subway, the grocery stores, you know what I'm saying, everywhere. But I didn't realize the effect. What'd you say, bro?
Was in NIL.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't realize the potential of that. So all that stuff right there that they was taking my imaging and using to promote the school and all that stuff like that, and I didn't get one dime from it. And for me, it's not about money, but when I now hear the NIL deals, when kids are making 10, 8, 10, 9, 2, even if they making $200,000 and they got $200,000 for every year that they leave, they starting out with an advantage.
Absolutely.
They starting out with an advantage, but even after all that, you talking about a kid who couldn't even read and write and did all that. When I left Dunbar, I left in a capacity of I couldn't read and write, and I knew I couldn't read and write, but at that point in my mind was, what could I do about it? At that point in my mind. In my mind, the only thing I had was basketball. And I'm going to do it to the fullest to get me where I needed to be to try to help my family, do whatever I can in that capacity. So
what does basketball mean to Kevin Sands?
It is, first I got to give glory to God, because without him, that's not even possible. But it is meant the world to me because it's taking me places that I would never see, taking me through things I would never go through, push me in places where I would not work. You know what I'm saying? And I've met good men, made good friends, created good relationships throughout the world. And in that process of it, I've been able to just pass some knowledge on to young men and women of what I have learned, but just giving them that capacities, man. You can't, when people tell you ain't good enough, don't let that disturb you, because it is a disturbing voice, and it's usually somebody that you care about. It's usually somebody that you feel like love you, that tell you those things. But sometimes those things aren't always good. But at the same time, sometimes those people don't mean you any good either. And they want you to fall. They want you to defaulter. They want you to lay down and quit. But I'm telling you, bro, I went from can't read to graduating college with a 3.0, with winning an award that I beat out 30,000 kids, man, to win this award that I didn't even think was possible. And I have to give credit to Hattie Beecher and her family. So before there was, what's the movie with the football dude and the Blind Side? Bro, I did that shit 3 times over. They moved me into their house, tore their basement down, everything, moved me into their place, man. They little brothers, Brian, and Brian is a big time lawyer in California. His brother Jeff is a neurosurgeon in New York right now. They like my little brothers, and they white, or if that's what you want to call them, they Jewish, but they family to me.
Absolutely.
Her and her husband Alan, man, the one thing he said to me is make sure my wife is good when she come over there with you. That's the only thing he ever said to me. He said, and other than that, give me a hug. You family now, your room downstairs, because you can't go, you ain't going back to the school because it's pointless. They not letting you play, they not letting you practice. So you here, man. So in 2 weeks, he had a whole thing come down in the basement, clean the basement out, they fixed it up. I'm living with them.
And just for the record, graduated with a sociology degree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 3.0. We gotta reinstate that.
And a minor in communication.
How about that?
Yeah. So yes, yes.
And Drake.
And Drake, bro, is like they call it the Yale of the Midwest. That's how difficult. And it's no way, bro, I was supposed to get into Drake. Like for real. Like and Coach Better Marco now, who won the national championship at North Carolina State, got the job there. So he then came, with what's the left hand? No, he caught the alley oop and dumped it in at the last second.
Whitmore was the point guard.
Yes, Whitmore was the point guard. Yes.
Okay,
And he caught the joint and dumped it in. He didn't even know he jumping around. Don't even know he just won a national championship. But in that concept, he got the job at Drake. So he then came to my house because I didn't have nowhere to go. I was out of school for like 3 weeks at home now because I ain't got nowhere to go. I didn't turn everybody down because in my mind I'm going to Iowa. So of course they go back and sign all the players that they want. They ain't got nobody got no scholarships.
Yeah, it's past time.
Coach Better Marco, like, he come to my house, stay the night, and I'm like,
Mom must be fine, man.
man, mom's good people.
Okay.
Mom's good people. So I ain't gonna go there.
All these cats, man.
I think for them, these niggas' jobs. These niggas, these $100,000 jobs. These niggas gonna do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and if you look him up, Coach Better Marco was the coolest little Italian dude, man. Dude probably like this big, man. I swear, man. He like this big, man. But he came to my house. I signed a letter of intent, and I went. That's how I got the Drake. That's how I got the Drake.
Is one accomplishment more endearing to you than the other? You know, your basketball, what you did on the basketball court, and then what you did off the basketball court. Like I said, graduating with a 3.0.
That's more endearing to me. Getting my education.
Hey.
Like, cause I kind of I kind of fell off with the basketball, and I fell off because I started seeing, open my eyes up, because little racial things was going on. So I was gonna write a book. They put a gag order on me, a 10-year gag order on me. So I couldn't write the book.
While you was in school?
This was even after I graduated. This was even because I wasn't gonna write it while I was in school. Of course, I was gonna graduate first or whatever, because in my mind I was thinking that too. These boys, they gonna play with me. You know, they gonna play with me. So I waited. My first gig, played in Tel Aviv, played for Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Right.
Went over there, played basketball over there, and came back that summer. And so my idea was, I'm gonna write this book. I'm here for the summer. I ain't doing much. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about going back to get my master's and everything. I was like, I'm gonna write this book. So when I was promoting the fraternity thing, I was an alpha at the time. My fraternity brother at the time came to me. His wife ran in the Olympics, and so did he. He came to me. We was at the Come and Go on 31st Street. Pulled in the first stall. He was like, I need to talk to you. I was like, what you need to talk to me about? He said, you can't write that book, bro. I was like, what you talking about? I said, I only told a few brothers about writing a book, and I said it to some of y'all in a fraternity meeting. Exactly. Exactly. So in my mind, so I asked him right there, because I'm ready to go with him right there. I'm like, bro, did you run your mouth? He was like, it wasn't me. That's all I gotta say is it wasn't me. But I'm saying this, they found out about it, and this morning they put a gag order on you this morning. Wow. So then I'm thinking once the 10 years is up, I can do it. No, bro. They reinstated the gag order. So in order for me to write the book, I have to have a ghostwriter, because they can't get around it, because it's done now. And it don't matter at this point, not the age I am now. You know, God got me now. So well, he been had me, but he really got me now, because that's where I am. as far as a man is concerned, my belief and my faith in the Lord. So in that process of it, it's they were doing everything they could to keep me, because they didn't want them to know they had somebody who was reading on the 3rd, 4th grade level in their school, and they were actually just pushing them through to play basketball. Right. So I go to Tulsa, have a good game in Tulsa, 30, 12, 6. I'm on the ESPN, you know what I'm saying? The ESPN, I'm on what's Michael's? What's the guy on Channel 4? Sports Machine.
Sports Machine.
More Sports Machine. And I'm on Sports Machine. I can see it from Iowa. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. You know, George Michael Sports Machine. So the very next morning, I'm on TV again. Right. Athlete in college, can't read and write. And how's he getting through? So I'm all on the newspaper and everything. So I go back to my dorm room later that day. Dumb nigga go home on my door.
Wow.
Yeah, so it became a whole racial thing too. So it was a lot of shit I went through in that process. It was a whole process. It wasn't just, happy-go-lucky. No. It was like, and she Jewish, Hattie. So she understands that hatred. I had never really been through that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not being here, I ain't been, and even in junior college, man, they loved me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't experience that in the way that I experienced that. Yeah, dumb nigga go home, all this shit. Like it became, first they love you, then they hate you. So then it kind of opened my eyes up to everything that was going on around me. So basketball didn't mean that much because of, I would take a test in class, the professor standing like this close to me, like you standing watching me like I'm cheating. Right. So it became a whole thing, and if I would have known what I know now, I could have sued the hell out of them. Sure. I don't know that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that, but it was everywhere. I'm sitting down in the lunchroom, I'm gonna get up from the table. What? Yeah, bro, yes. Motherfuckers get up from the table, and one day, I kind of lost it for us. I really got to say, I kind of lost it. And that happened, and the Bama's was getting ready to get up. I turned the whole table over. Ain't nobody fucking eating. Yeah. Nobody eating today. Because it was bothering me. Yeah. So when she found that out, they kind of suspended me from the lunchroom. So that's when she said, you know what? Yeah, you getting out of here. You coming out of here. So they moved me to their house. And from there, when I came back, I was a different cat. I had a little crazy head. When they seen me again, all my hair was shaved off. And that year I came back, I didn't have a lot of games left on my eligibility. I would say I maybe had 10. And out of them 10 games, probably 9 of them games I scored 34 or more. I was on a dog tear. I was so angry, man. I really was so angry with them. I didn't talk to my teammates. I didn't talk to the coaches. Because the coach was like, if you don't talk to me, I'm going to kick you off the team. I said, you gonna kick who off the team? Right. I said, nigga, I'm the best player in this league. Yeah. You ain't kicking me off the team.
Not on the team.
Right, in the conference. You can kick me off the team if you want to. Yeah. See where that gets your job. Right. So go ahead. Yeah. I was like, so now I started using my voice and using my strength accordingly because it was like they was playing with me. And they was playing with me to the point they wanted me to quit. They wanted me to go back home, come here without an education. I wasn't having it, bro. It couldn't. I had to grow up and grow up in a manner of all those things that were happening to me. But ultimately, it was and I gotta say this, man, it was my irresponsibility because I didn't say anything to nobody. I didn't tell people I couldn't really read and write. Charisma, all that. I could speak, could voice my opinion, and you know what I'm saying, and nobody would know that. But looking back at it, it was my irresponsibility. I had to say something to somebody. But if I say something, I lose out on basketball, something I absolutely love, something I don't have nothing else but that. So if I say something, they take that away.
I wanted to mention that though, because you got to think about it. Them treating you like that, and the guy that you are, the guy who Kevin Sams is, for you to have a trail of coaches, just people in your corner that wanted to help you, push you forward, to help you grow as a person. I mean, what does that does that mean about who you are as an individual?
I don't know. I gotta say I wasn't always this person, and I'm still evolving and still growing as we all are.
Right.
But you know, like you run into individuals and they see something in you that you don't see in yourself, and they push you in ways that you don't know that you have the capability or the embodiment to carry to become a good person like that. You know what I'm saying? Like at times I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I knew I had guys like Fat Rodney, and you know Fat Rodney? Fat Rodney seen shit in me a long time ago before he got killed. God bless the dead, for real, for real. Dude was good to me, for real. I needed some shoes. Dude bought me the shoe. When he dropped them shoes off at my house, bro, the shoes was as tall as the door. And then you know the doorway is 7 foot in itself. Brand new shoes.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I just asked for a pair of shoes.
Yeah, 8 pair.
And my mom cussed me out.
She
Because, she thought I was out there. I know who that boy is. Yeah. I was like, Mom, he that boy be on the go-go thing. I know him. I'm like, Mom. But he was just trying to help me out because I ain't had no shoes and you couldn't afford them. I needed some shoes. She was like, well, damn, did he have to buy the whole store?
Yeah, Mom.
It was like, yeah. So then the next day he took me clothes shopping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like I became somebody he looked out for.
That's right.
And I'm going to say this. We got into a brawl at Coolidge when Coolidge first opened their gym up. Okay. And I can't think of this dude's name. He got killed, but his mother was at the basketball game, but he was still alive. He was on Coolidge's team. And we swinging and punching and stuff like that, and I hit his mom. God damn. Did not know. I just thought somebody coming up towards me, and I couldn't see, so I punched. Next thing you know, he come to the school.
Yeah.
He comes to school with a pistol. He gonna shoot me.
Yeah.
I come outside, because in my mind, I ain't no punk, but that's some stupid shit. That's he got a gun. Like, that don't even make no sense. Now that I think about it, Fat Rodney squashed that completely. And he didn't have to. But unbeknownst to me, it was because of Ray.
Okay.
Ray and them used to come to our games all the time, bro. Ray and them come to our games, shut the whole gym down.
Right.
40 deep, walk right across the floor.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if you ever seen that, but hey, bro, that is a sight. And everybody got fur coats on and shit like that. Peanut and them, which bench, talk to him, which side you want to sit on. He do like this. It was like some Malcolm X shit, bro. Right, like for real, bro. He do like this. And everybody in the bleachers, bro, get up and move. And they take the whole bleachers over, bro. I don't know how many times they did that, bro. And then it got to the point where they started knowing who I was, knowing my name because of Fast. Cal, what's up, man? Come on, man, let's go. I'm like, I don't even know these things, man. Like that at all.
But that's DC. I mean, DC we love basketball first and foremost. You know?
True.
And then we're gonna take care of the hoopers. We want to make sure the hoopers aren't out there doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
For real.
Yeah.
And it's not like that these days.
Oh, really?
It's not even close.
Wow.
It's not even close. It's not even close these days. It's not even close. So in that, guys looked out for me that didn't have to look out for me. And I don't know if they looked out for me. Some of them looked out for me because I went to Dunbar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And other guys knew me. Oh, he played. That's Shorty. He played with us on the team. He knew whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he a little dirty, but he needs some
not
gear.
dirty.
Yeah, I mean, you know how they do. You know how they do. You know how they do. I ain't holding no punches. You know how they do. They like, oh, that nigga need some gear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, I got gear. I'm hooping. Life is good. And we win a championship. Now it's on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always a chapter that you don't really see that's coming. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be good. But you know, as you in this basketball thing, we always got to prove ourselves.
Indeed.
Because we have to keep going through every level now overseas. Dirk Nowitzki, I remember seeing him. He was 17. He dropped 50 on us when I played in Germany. I was grown. Grown. Fuck, this nigga dropped 50 on us. Like for real. And it was like It was like just a regular season game, and I only played in Germany for like I think it was like 6 months. And this how they do you. Like when they are trading you or you done, they call you to the practice and like take that jersey off, give it to him. Here go your ticket.
Damn.
That's how they do you. So you got to be on your P's and Q's at all times. Like you really got to get it because in their mind, you the American, you the one we paying this dough to. So you like a coach and a player on the floor at all times. At all times, they expect for you. Look, bro, you average 27. You only got 24 today.
Ooh, that
really?
slim of a margin.
You average 27.
You got 24.
You got 24 today.
Wow. Okay.
That's for real. You next game we need that 27.
Yeah.
Actually, we prefer 30, so you can make up for the 24 you missed last game.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you, bro, it's shrewd, and you start learning those little things. But I learned me as well when I played overseas. I learned how to be with me because overseas, going to other countries, you don't speak the languages, you don't know what's going on, and I remember the kid when I went over to Israel. He was messing with the girls a lot.
Okay.
And the coach, Nitsan, was one of the players, and he spoke English and Arabic. And we would go around, no black here, no blacks there, no blacks there.
Really? In Germany?
Let me tell you something, bro.
No.
Let me tell you something. Wherever you go, I was in Israel at the time. And wherever you go, and wherever I've been to lived in 6 different countries, and they let you know. You black. Wherever you go, I don't care where you go, they let you know you black.
Really?
And you'd be amazed some of the commercials you see in those countries about us. You would absolutely, it's just heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. But as an athlete, you get a pass on a lot of that. You get a pass on a lot of that as an athlete. Because you get to eat for free in those places, in those countries and all that shit like that. Everybody know you, everybody wants your signature, your autograph, all that stuff like that. But
A regular black person is
right.
No.
Oh shit. You ain't nobody. That's
ain't
not
nobody.
a place for you to be. That's not a place for you to be. I mean, it ain't no different in America. I mean, if you think about it, bro, they've been hating us for so long that they perpetuate commercials and everything about us for so long. And it's put in their parents' heads, who have put it in their kids' heads. Think about it. Why would an Asian woman marry a white man before she marry a black man? Quick.
Yeah.
I'm in the same struggle you are in this country. But you'll get with a white man who's perpetuating that poison before you get with a black man. That's just how it is, man. And you start to learn those things. This world is so fast, but I learned to respect other people's cultures and things like their religions and stuff like that. I've been there. I went to the river. I visited the River Jordan. I visited Bethlehem. I visited Egypt, bro. I've been to places that in my mind I can't even believe that I'm saying, because I remember that kid from Columbia Road, from 7th Street, going to Dunbar, and that kid to now you telling me that he did all that?
Yeah.
Bro, I get chills thinking about that. Graduated and all that stuff like that, bro. Like I really, in my own mind, but I'm so blessed, man. I'm so humble about it. I don't take any of it for granted, bro. I really don't, man.
12-year pro, thanks to
I
basketball.
don't, bro. I really don't. The one thing I want for me before I leave is just to be a good father.
Oof.
That's it, bro. And eventually just, be a good husband. Other than that, the rest of it is all love. Like, for real,
You
bro.
want to talk about the female experience out there?
Man, the camera. We can turn the camera off. You trying to get me in trouble. What cut? Venezuela,
God almighty.
Brazil.
Oh, you playing all them?
Yeah.
Bro, look. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. So you would go to practice, and you come back, and the shit is real. You go to practice, and you come back, bro. It's a butt naked woman in your bed. I mean, and I ain't talking about like some old like. I mean, like bad as shit. And then you like, what? But for real, it's not as in our mind. We saying hell yeah, but nah, you don't speak the language. You don't know what's going on. And the reason I brought up Israel because a dude that played at Tennessee, bro, is no longer here because he was messing with one of them girls from Israel, and they found his ass on a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire with his ears cut off.
Oh yeah, the laws are different in them.
Exactly. And he was a black man.
Oh, yeah.
Like no bullshit. And you will never hear that shit. You will never hear that shit because guess what? He ain't Brittany Griner. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no real stardom over here in this country where they felt like he was important. Because if she wasn't in the WNBA, her ass would still be in prison. She would still be in prison, or probably dead right now. And they traded her for a straight up espionage killer. Like the dude they traded her for had 200 murders and all. And I'm thinking like, damn, okay, Brittany. Okay.
That's what she was.
Right. And I worked out with her when the NCAA was in Des Moines. And she was we did what's that, CrossFit together.
Okay.
Down there. She about our height too, for she a big nigga. Cause she thinks she a dude.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she a big girl.
She tried to train herself to talk like that, man. She couldn't have wasn't born with that bass in her voice.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. And you know, sometimes they take that medicine. No, he ain't gonna let that go there. Yeah, she gonna get that hammer. But I believe, you know, sometimes they start taking them transformation pills.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I think maybe that's what did it for her. But she a big girl.
Yeah.
For real, she a big girl, man. Like she really is, man. I was just like, wow, that's a big girl.
Hey, what you got?
I was gonna say that book was very interesting. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm really working on it, bro. I'm working on it.
So honestly, when you say struggling to read, honestly couldn't read like
bro, like
Dexter
nah, bro.
Manley.
Look, I was reading Duck is a Duck, bro, and I was struggling with that. Duck can't run. Duck can jump, bro. That's where I was reading that. And I don't even know if that was 3rd, 4th grade level, bro. Like Dexter Manley, for real.
That's what.
For real.
Okay,
For real.
That's amazing.
That's
for
what I'm
real.
saying.
Like,
So from once you focus a year, 2 years, like at what point?
About
Like,
2 years. About
2 years.
2 years. But it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. I've never done anything harder than that in my entire life, bro. Like it was crying, kicking holes in the wall, bro, punching holes in the wall. It was like learning. I'm gonna tell you this. You know when Spanish people or other people come over here and try to learn English, that's what it's like, learning a new language for
but
you.
you can talk and just know and that. But
That's learning, listening to people, kind of.
I could you know, I was it would be like if you were deaf, your senses raised.
Oh, got you.
So me, I knew I couldn't spell. I knew I couldn't write. Like I knew that. I could write my name now. I could write my name. You know what I'm saying? Like I went into the when we took the test you got to go to get in college.
SAT.
Man, I went to SAT, wrote my name, bro. Went to sleep. Because there was real talk, bro. And if niggas act like they went and did something different with the test, they lying, bro. They lying. That shit was difficult as hell, bro. And I wasn't gonna fake, can't really read and write, bro. Please, man.
Name gone.
Yeah, name went to sleep, bro.
at that time,
Like
you
for real.
400 for putting
You get 400 for putting your name.
name.
There you go. I got my 400. And if I think about it, 400, I had 400 for my name. And maybe if I would have tried, guessed at everything, if I would have went down the thing and put C for everything, C is a lot of times answers and shit. Maybe I would have got 7. But
She said she went in there and fell asleep too.
yeah, bro, it's difficult. And they giving us words that we don't know. They giving us math that we don't know. Like we didn't have no. Did you have SAT prep?
No.
Exactly. Guess where they had SAT prep at? Sidwell Friends, Wilson.
But Dunbar is actually, that's why it's so, because Dunbar is a college preparatory.
Now.
Oh, okay.
Now it's a college preparatory. Back then, it was a college for the best athletes.
Okay.
Real talk. All the best football players went there. All the best basketball players went there. Period. Just point blank. You walk down the hall, you got a room full of athletic niggas. Big, like for real. Okay. That was it back then. But other than that, man, and if I'm sure if we could talk to some of them now, some of them niggas probably say, yeah, bro, I couldn't read, I couldn't write, say the same thing. But here's the thing, the bad thing about it is that poison, why young men and women are acting the way they acting, because the majority of them, bro, can't read and write. Wow. And I worked at YSC for a little while, for about 2 years. And we're helping them. I taught down there. A lot of them, bro, cannot read and write.
Frustration.
Cannot, and that frustration turns to anger. Anger turns to violence. And then next thing you know, you've done something because you feel like you don't have no hope. When you don't have no hope, bro, it kills your soul. It really does. It kills everything in you. And if you don't know how to get it and who can get it from you and who gonna help you gain it, bro, it's something bad. Because that's where I was when they was like, they gonna take your scholarship away from you. They gonna kick your ass out of school. They dropped my GPA to a 1.0. And they did that because it was a coach writing our papers for us. This is a part y'all don't know. There's a coach writing out, Coach Butler was writing our papers for us. So I would turn in some think about this. Think about a first or second grader writing an essay and then turning it into the coach, and the coach redo the paper. Yeah. So if that would have went on, I would have graduated anyway with straight A's without earning it. You know what I'm saying? So in the process, they got caught. They fired Coach Benamarco. And my teammates, man, I was so angry with these niggas. These niggas walked out, man. Like some hoes. We don't do that. And God forgive me if I'm wrong, and if my teammates see this, it is what it is. I felt like them niggas was some suckers for walking out. They felt like, so I had the school credit card. I ain't even gonna lie. I had this coach gave me.
Here we go. Here's the story. Yeah.
So they gave me the school credit card. Coach Benamarco, I had the school credit card, bro. I was going everywhere, doing everything, buying everything, just turn the receipts in or whatever. So eventually, when all of it came down to it, they got me on having a coach write my papers, which is illegal. They ain't say nothing to me about all the money I spent, and I don't know if they even caught on that I had the credit card. But that was illegal and using the telephones. Because I used to go up to the coach's office. They gave me the key to the office. I go up, be calling home all the time. At the time, my little girlfriend, calling her. She still lived here. I was calling her when she was coming down to see me and all that stuff like that. I got the money for the ticket. I'm going to buy the ticket, send it to you. All that, like... So I wasn't supposed to be using them. That's an NCAA violation. Of course, writing papers for me, NCAA violation. And then Coach Butler wrote a paper, bro. And Coach Butler graduated from a top Ivy League school. So he did the paper. I turned the paper into Miss Mavusi, Imperialism in Africa. She called me to the office and asked me to read the first paragraph. I was like... I'm looking at the paragraph now. I'm mad because when I look at it, I'm like, why would this nigga write the paper like that? Right. But he only writing it the way he know how to write papers. But he had words in there, bro. He had like 4 or 5 syllables in the words. I'm like, bro, I don't know what the hell that word is. Like real talk. Like I can't, like real, like what? She said, read it. I was like, Mr. Vuzi, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I can't read that. And she said to me, she said, you know what's gonna happen now. I said, no, I don't really know what's gonna happen. She said, I gotta give you an incomplete. But of course, Mr. Troyer, who's the dean of the sociology department, got wind of it. So that incomplete in 2 days turned to an F. Then it turned out to a full-on NCAA investigation. Just like that. But here's my thing. What I want to say is, how is it that the NCAA has been getting away with stealing money for us for over 50 years, 60 years? They have become richer than rich based on all us. The NCAA would not be as powerful without us. They wouldn't have billion-dollar contracts on TV without us. Think about how much money they've stolen. Think about why they put all those rules in place. You can't have a job because all your money gonna come to me, nigga. You a new slave and you don't even know it. We've been slaving for these people, but now the reason they mad at LeBron and all those people like that is because, no, I'ma choose where I wanna go. You ain't gonna choose where you want me to go. So, and now that the kids are now being who they wanna be, no, I'm not going. So if all our athletes right now transferred to black schools, think about that. Think about the capacity of that. It would destroy the NCAA. That's why the NIL deal came along. Because you seen the number one player, the nigga went to Howard.
That was bananas.
You know what I'm saying? They start going to black schools, so we can't allow them black schools to now get this money that we've been getting all this time. Why don't we start paying them that?
Oh, wow. Change the rules.
Change the rules. Again, every time they start losing out, they change the rules. But in our eyes, not everybody still on that basketball team is getting paid. It's only the best players getting paid. And I get that. I understand it. But it's just another way for them to move the point. Same thing they did with credit. When we was all getting 700, they moved the point. It's now 800. And it's so hard to get to 800. It's unbelievable. Shit, you might die before you get to 800. That's how hard it is. But it's always them creating rules for us
That much more difficult.
to make it difficult for us. And we got to wake up and start understanding and seeing